Welcome back to the channel, and today we're talking WWE, and another superstar is disgruntled with their position in the company and has requested their release. Now, we talked about this before on the channel when we discussed Sasha Banks, who has now been sent home to re-evaluate her future. If you want to check that video out, you can do so via the link in the description box below. But I did ask a question in that video. I asked, is this a sign of things to come for the WWE, with more superstars being unhappy about their path and their future with the E? Well, it appears that is the case, because Luke Harper has requested his release from WWE. He made this clear on social media, and we're going to talk about it in this video. Now, before we get into it, I want to make sure you're subscribed to the channel with the notification bell turned on so you stay up to date with all my WWE content. Now, Luke Harper hasn't been in action with WWE for a long time, but he did make his return as part of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania. And I was saying on social media that I thought he should have won that. I really did think that was a good opportunity to reboot Luke Harper with the WWE Universe. However, we all know that was not the case, and Luke Harper has now requested his release from WWE, and he posted this statement on social media. As of this evening, I've requested a release from WWE. The past 6 years have been a simply amazing journey around the world and back with lifelong friends and family. I am proud of it all, and proud to say I shared the ring with my co-workers. This decision is as difficult as it was. Feels right for myself and WWE. My goal in the future is to continue to grow as a performer and person, and continue to make my family proud. Thank you from the top to the bottom of WWE. Thank you to the fans for your undenying support. Thank you, everyone. Luke Harper. Now, I have to say, this is a huge disappointment for me, because Luke Harper, I've always felt, is a fantastic talent, not just with his portrayal of his gimmick, but in the ring. He's a big guy, but he's very agile, he's got great in-ring skills, and he was in great shape. He's in great shape now. And I always felt that WWE have always mismanaged him after the demise of the Wyatt family, and in fact, when he was part of the Wyatt family, they didn't make the most of him there either. In fact, when you think about the Wyatt family in general, 3 superstars who could have been massive talent, and the one that seems to be doing the best at the moment is the one you didn't think would. Eric Rowan, paired up with Daniel Bryan. Now, Bray Wyatt is going to be hit and miss. Some people anticipating his return, some not. Some not so sure about this new gimmick that is beginning to come of age. So again, it could be a problem, and Bray Wyatt could be mismanaged. And of course, Luke Harper has requested his release. And although Eric Rowan is doing okay at the moment with Daniel Bryan, what is going to happen to Rowan if Daniel Bryan and him go their separate ways? I'm concerned that he will get lost in the shuffle. And it always feels like WWE have really dropped the ball with all 3 of these talents, because I feel they should have kept the Wyatt family together, and they could have been a dominant force within the WWE and could have been a main stable. So I've got the utmost respect for Luke Harper for making this decision, but when you think about the more cryptic talent, the psychological talent, like a Luke Harper, like the Wyatt family, WWE poorly manages these type of gimmicks every single time. The Wyatt family, yes, they had their moments, but ultimately they were split up. Then when they became singles competitors, they were mismanaged. At times we had the Bludgeon Brothers, they weren't sure what to do with them, they gave up. Then they also had Bray Wyatt repackage a fair few times, but it was kind of the same thing. He said a lot but didn't do anything. So again, Bray Wyatt has to go away, reevaluate, come back again. It's repetitive, the fans lose interest. Sanity, is it any different? Came up to the main roster, they didn't know what to do with them. Now you've got Killian Dane in one place, Nikki Cross in another, Eric Young, no direction at all, being destroyed by The Miz. Woken Matt Hardy, we know how to book a Woken gimmick. Impact Wrestling taught us that. But did it work in WWE? No. All of these gimmicks had an organic feel at the beginning. If they started off in NXT or they started off somewhere else, they had the organic engagement of the fans. Once WWE gets hold of something, they WWE-ify it. I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm going to stick with it. And they do that, and then once they've done that, they don't know where to go with it next. And because they've stripped that organic side away from that talent, that's when things go wrong. And once they do that, there seems to be no going back, or even no coming back, because it then disengages the fans. The fans don't like the gimmick anymore, and then WWE seem to not like the gimmick anymore. And who's punished? The superstars. They then have to go away, and then they don't usually come back from it. There's no sort of comeback. Bray Wyatt is like the cat with 9 lives, but every single life he has gets worse and worse. So I do think that Luke Harper going away to apply his trade elsewhere, travel the world, go AEW, I think he will succeed, because I think he believes in himself, and that's why he's made this decision. From a WWE perspective, I'll be very concerned, because he's a great talent. They should have respected him, they should have thought through what they wanted to do with him, and they need to learn from these lessons, because there's going to be more talent is going to think, look, I'm not getting what I want here. And I'm not saying that being a sport brat, oh, me. No, just some basic credible booking. You bring back a talent, you know what you're going to do with them. You bring a talent up, you have a long-term plan for them. You plan those things out, and then that talent feels like you're investing in them. It's not as simple now as just signing up talent and then thinking, great, I'm with the WWE. Yes, it's a great moment initially, but you need to have that drive that keeps you going forward. And if you're being told week in, week out, we've got nothing for you, we can't position you there, no, we don't like that, it's going to get you down, and you're going to look for alternatives. And that's what more talent are beginning to think about now. So WWE can't just react to things. They've got to be proactive. But can they do it? Because even now, I'm feeling like they're not quite getting the message. So I want to get your views and opinions on this. Do you think WWE have made a huge mistake with Luke Harper? You might not feel that Luke Harper is the biggest loss to the company, but I'm sure you can agree that this won't be the last. And looking around on social media, it appears that others are requesting for their release. And I did mention those cryptic gimmicks. Another one just springs to mind. The Ascension, the most dominant tag team on NXT. And look what they are now. They are absolutely nothing. And I think the only difference between a Luke Harper and the Ascension is the pure fact that Connor and Victor are happy to be where they are. Of course, they're not happy, but at least they've accepted their position and they're willing to see it out. If I was them, I'd be thinking, after our success on NXT, I'll be looking to go elsewhere and apply my trade. But I think that maybe in their instance, it's too far gone, because as much as, yes, they're in WWE, they might be happy. They might be happy. You know, I don't know their feelings. But if I was there and I was looking at my NXT career and I think how dominant we were, I wouldn't be happy with my booking at the moment, because I'd want to be a dominant team on the main roster. Why not? And it doesn't vote well for the War Raiders, or whatever they're called at the moment, the Viking experience. The Viking size gamer pay for that? I don't know, but it just makes me laugh that they've been repackaged with new names and a new tag team name, when, yes, maybe you want to drop off the war bit, but just call them the Raiders. Call them something similar to that, not an experience. I don't like that. An experience doesn't enthrall me. But, you know, again, you look at the Ascension and then you look at the Viking experience, it's worrying. If it ain't broke, don't try and fix it. And that's what WWE constantly seem to do. They bring them up, they give them a repackage. I'm not so sure about that repackage, but they've given them it, and then they don't know what to do with them. I don't know. I think too much talent is hitting the main roster too quick at the moment. And it feels like to me that it's a response to try and make sure they appease this talent or protect this talent from going elsewhere. And all they're actually doing is damaging that talent because they have nothing for them. And the talent that's behind that, for example, the Luke Harpers of this world, who are waiting patiently, are then being shuffled back even more. And then it's them guys that are asking for a release. So it is a complicated situation. It's not an easy one. WWE has to manage this right, but WWE also went out and signed all this talent without having a major thought or direction for each one as they come into the company. If they're not ready, keep them on NXT and make them a top guy in NXT. It's like EC3. Why didn't EC3 just become NXT champion at a point? Keep him there for now. I don't understand this, and my biggest concern is when the Dream hits the main roster, the Velveteen Dream. If WWE drop the ball on him, well, there is no faith for anyone. But Luke Harper has requested his release. There's no news yet if it's been granted, but I wish Luke Harper the best of luck. He's a tremendous talent, and I do fear that there will be more to come. So get involved. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about my comments about Luke Harper and then comparing him to Dean Ambrose. If the Dean Ambrose thing is true and he is actually leaving and they've done all of this for Dean Ambrose, come on. Really? I don't agree with that at all. I think that is way overrating Dean Ambrose for what he was worth. I think he should have been booked better. But I don't think that they should have these send-offs every week when someone like Luke Harper's just been clipped out the back door. I want to get your views and opinions on this. It's very interesting times for the WWE. Lots of talent becoming disgruntled. Sasha Banks yet to make a decision. Again, if that's a storyline, it might have actually been a storyline that's becoming true. We'll see. But I want to get your views. And this is Delzinski signing out.